Welcome back to episode 31 of SEC Talks. This is your co-host, Caden the Green, and I'm here with Jackson and Hanley. And we are just super excited to bring you guys back another episode of the new series we have started. And we are going to be talking about Florida this weekend and diving into their football and basketball programs and looking at recruiting, their upcoming schedules, the new coaches we have. And we're just so excited to bring you guys this episode. For all of you guys joining us on YouTube, make sure you check us out on Apple and Spotify. And Apple and Spotify, check us out on YouTube. But first, we wanted to get started and give you guys a quick recap of what's been going on with SEC baseball as well as the transfer portal. So, Jackson, you want to get us started with baseball real quick?
100% I will. So, starting out in the East, we have Tennessee at a 19-2 standing, with Georgia leading behind them at 12-9, pretty large gap right there. Vanderbilt 10-11, South Carolina 9-12, Florida 8-13, Missouri and Kentucky both at 7-14. But in the West, we have Arkansas leading at 14-7, Auburn at 12-9, as well as LSU and Texas A&M all at 12-9. Have Alabama 9-12. Mississippi State also 9-12. We have Ole Miss at 7-14. So really, based on numbers, Tennessee is looking pretty good SEC wise. 19-2.
It's hard to believe that Ole Miss has got a chance to miss the tournament.
They were number one at one point.
They were. I forgot
They
about
went
that.
in number one, I think. Did they go? They start out number one, or was that?
I remember they were number
there
one
by
at
like
one
third
point because that's
week
when
or
y'all swept them at their place.
It was like a 13 and what was that first game?
12-2.
12-2. It was
Jackson, that was a look of disgust.
Oh, it was a look. Well, really, I mean, Arkansas, they're a good team. Of course, they're leading the West. They've won 66% in their conference.
It really just looks like it's Tennessee, major gap, Arkansas, smaller gap, and that's when your
Georgia's
teams,
in there too.
You think in that top gap?
I think so.
No, Auburn's there.
I think Georgia's top 10 right now.
Are they?
I believe so.
Auburn's better.
As far as the East goes, I mean, Georgia they're way behind Tennessee in terms of standings.
Yeah, the weird thing about
Everybody's
it is
behind Tennessee.
it really, for whatever reason, it just doesn't matter. Whatever the standings are, you're just kind of. I mean, tennis. I don't know. In baseball, do they do it like basketball, where they have a regular season champion and obviously we have the SEC tournament? But do they care about SEC regular season?
That is a great question.
I don't know. Something that Jackson may have to look up tomorrow.
We'll say something noticeable here over anything is South Carolina is by far the worst on the road at 3-10 on the road, which is
That's not good.
no, that's not good. I don't declare. But I mean, I guess that's a confidence issue on their end. I don't know.
Bad.
I think they're just bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, we need to get to transfer portal.
That's right. The one big transfer that happened over the weekend was Auburn got Johnny Broom from Morehead State.
Big pickup.
It's a big pickup. It'll probably be about as good of a replacement for Kessler as we could have done. Broom was the third best shot blocker in the country last year. I think he averaged 17 and 10, so that was a big pickup. And I don't think there were really many more transfers that happened that affected the SEC.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I can think of is it sounds like Julian Phillips, the former LSU commit, the 5-star, sounds like he's probably going to be between Auburn and Tennessee, which he'd be a huge
like a
pickup.
lot of guys are, it feels like.
Yeah. Especially for basketball.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But all right, I'm going to give you guys my list of SEC quarterbacks ranked, and then they're going to give theirs in other episodes. And these are from a website that projected the starting quarterbacks. So first off, I have Bryce Young for Alabama, then Hendon Hooker.
What was this website?
Didn't quote it. But it was from a website.
Oh,
Because I didn't know some of these guys. Because a lot of these are quarterback battles. So you can't really
that's true.
say, like, anyways.
Okay.
Bryce Young, Hendon Hooker, KJ Jefferson, Will Levis, Will Rogers, Spencer Rattler, Stetson, Anthony Richardson, Calzada, Nussmeier from LSU, Johnson from A&M, Luke Aldemeyer from Ole Miss, which the guy from USC is probably going to start there.
Slovis. That's his name.
No, that's the dude who went to Pitt, remember?
Dang, I keep messing it up.
It's the other guy.
I can't remember his name.
Can't either.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, but and then Mike Wright from Vandy. And then Brady Cook from Missouri.
What?
So those last 5 guys, they may not even be starting. But the top 9, I'm pretty confident they're all going to be starting. But let us know what you guys think of that. But to get into Florida, we're going to start off with football. They have a new head coach, Billy Napier from Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns. And I don't know about y'all, but I think this is the most vulnerable Florida has been in a while when it comes to football.
I mean, coming from 2 Tennessee fans, we know a lot about being vulnerable and having to start from scratch. Just saying. We know a lot about that.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, I mean,
we have to beat them this year.
Florida's just simply in a hole. They got dug into a huge hole. I mean, me being a Sanford alumni, of course, I remember this game. But Sanford gave them
That was a crazy game.
Very big run for their money.
What was their
That must
record
be
last
Florida
year?
State too. Remember?
What was their record last year?
Sanford?
Florida. Nah,
I want to say it was an
believe it
even
was
6-6.
Was it?
It
I'm
was
pretty
6-6.
Yeah. Then Florida was 6-6, and
What did
somehow they're.
I want to give
bowl
them crap for
eligible.
that, but Auburn also went 6-6.
Auburn was a better team than Florida. There was just other issues in different areas. Simply.
Did Florida beat Florida State?
I almost
Because
wanna
they were both
say-
5-6 going into that.
I almost want to say Florida did.
That's
beat
an
Florida
unfortunate
State.
record.
Anyways.
Somehow they're still bowl eligible with 6-6, which you have nothing to prove.
Well, that's the
line.
The line
I know.
is 6 wins.
Well, I do disagree.
We need
with
that because
line.
Tennessee wouldn't have
Well,
many
you
bowls
can't
there.
disagree with the line because there's a certain number of bowls that have to be filled.
I know. Less bowls, I guess.
Yeah,
I
Florida
don't know.
won.
I can agree with that statement.
Less bowls,
Maybe we
I
should have
think.
less bowls
Yeah.
because
It's all about the money.
no one cares. Yeah, that is true. It's all about money.
No one's watching the
There was,
Arby's beef and cheddar bowl.
It was
whatever.
like 2 years ago or a couple years ago. They had some 5-7 teams in bowl games
Yep.
because they just didn't have enough 6-6 teams.
Stupid.
Anyways, yeah, new head coach. So you want to do a schedule at the end, right, y'all?
Yeah, so we can do our prediction,
Schedule prediction
like win-loss prediction.
right now.
No, I said so we can do.
Oh,
our
at the end.
prediction.
Okay. So to go hit the recruiting real quick. So they finished 20th overall in recruiting according to 247, and their transfer rating was 30. So their current enrollees, they only have 3 so far, and it's Kamara Wilson, who's a safety out of IMG, Chris McClellan, a defensive lineman out of Oklahoma, and Devin Moore, a safety out of Naples. And then the rest of the recruiting class is signed a letter of intent. You have Shamar James, Trevor Etienne, which I believe is Travis Etienne's brother.
Is it?
Yes, because he's a running back too. Tony Livingston, Jamari Lyons, Jack Pyburn, Caleb Douglas, Arliss Boardingham, Andrew Salavani, Jalen Farmer, Miguel Mitchell, David Connor, Christian Williams, Max Brown, Trace Mack, Hayden Hansen. And I'm not seeing any 5-stars on here, guys.
It honestly, looking
That's
at this
okay.
recruiting class, reminded me a lot of Auburn's.
Tennessee's too.
So,
Although we do have promising 2023 class, but we'll get into
I
that
think we do too.
in the Tennessee episode.
That we will.
And then just to wrap up the recruiting, we have 6 transfers. So Osiris Terrence, he's an interior offensive lineman coming from Louisiana Lafayette to Florida, so he just came with his coach. Jalen Kimber, cornerback from Georgia. Montrell Johnson, another Louisiana guy. He's a running back. Cameron Waits, he's coming from Louisiana Lafayette as well. And he is 6'8", 372, so that is a large man.
I cannot imagine having to tell people that you transferred from Georgia to Florida after winning the national championship. Of course, he wasn't played.
It could be worse. You could be Henry to O and transfer from Tennessee to Bama.
And then lose.
Dude, I
was glad.
Hanley's grievance of the week, real quick. I don't like that guy for that. I lost a lot of respect for someone that does that.
What bothered me more than that was seeing Butch Jones cheer on the sideline the next year when they beat us.
Well, didn't he coach for Bama, though?
He was an analyst.
Well, he kind of had to.
Nick Saban resurrects people's careers. It's ridiculous.
He really does.
And then
Father Time.
Butch Jones went to Arkansas State, who went like 4-8
Well, that's
in the Sun Belt.
a heck of a year.
And then, okay, so they also had a quarterback, Jack Miller, from Ohio State to Florida. And then Tyrone Truesdale. He's a defensive lineman from Auburn.
Yep.
I
had classes with him. He actually started for Auburn for a while.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
What happened to him?
All of our good players left, and we found out that he actually wasn't that good. That's about what happened. Everyone else made him look good.
Yeah. So, some notable players returning: Anthony Richardson, quarterback.
It's a big one. Anthony Richardson.
It's a big one. Notable
He should
players.
be the starter this year because nobody else is there.
And he wasn't that good.
I don't think so either. Neither was Emory Jones, who
Um,
left.
Notable players who did leave: linebacker Jeremiah Moon, Emory Jones, Kyer Elam. I don't think
I went to high school with Jeremiah Moon, by the way. Do you remember that?
Yeah. He played a long time at Florida.
He was a year ahead of me.
I was about to say.
He got picked up by the Ravens, I believe.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Because he was good at Hoover, I remember.
He was.
And he was always fine at Florida.
He was all upside. He was a 4-star. I think
He's huge.
He is now. He was like 6'4", 185 in high school. It's not that big.
I just remember being really tall.
He was pretty tall.
So, players who have entered the portal, of course, Emory Jones. I just mentioned that.
Who still hasn't
D-line.
found a home, by the way. It's important.
We're getting late.
Yeah. Dante Zanders, Gerald Mincy.
Who's at Tennessee now.
Oh, I
He
got you.
should probably be a starting tackle for us.
Edge Chris Bogle, Edge Lloyd Summerall III, wide receiver Jacob Copeland.
That's a big loss,
That
I
is a
think.
huge loss.
He
I remember
was-
hearing a lot about Jacob Copeland.
He was one of their best players, I think.
Of course, we got Muhammad
You got it.
Diabit. I don't know.
I think it's Diabate.
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 Kamor Gamble, tight end. Tyron Hopper. I should have brought my glasses.
Did you not see him?
Not very well. Just let y'all look at how bad my vision is.
By the way, we want to give a shout out to our cameraman, Rob Perry. You guys might remember him from our trivia episode. He's letting us use his lovely setup. As you can see, we're not in Hanley's basement.
That is
So
true.
we are excited for this, and we have lighting. So we hope you guys like it. So let us know which place you like better, and we'll hopefully Rob will let us every once in a while keep coming. But yeah, so you want to do a schedule prediction real quick, then we'll go to basketball.
Let's do it.
All right. Utah for their first game.
Oh gosh,
That's
no
tough.
way.
I'm
No
taking
way.
Utah. It's at Florida, but I'm taking Utah.
Utah turned out really well towards the end.
They did. They lost their best player, but I still think they beat Florida. Who y'all taking?
I'm taking Utah.
I'll take Florida.
All right, Kentucky at Florida. I'm taking Kentucky.
Yeah.
Probably
Levis
Kentucky.
is good.
I saw he's projected first rounder, which is weird.
Is he really?
I don't like that. South Florida at Florida.
I don't see how Florida can lose that one. I
I
will
agree.
say I hope they do, because there's a huge game the week after. If they lose South Florida, I think that's a pretty important prediction to the game they have following.
I'll pick Florida.
It's realistic.
Florida. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Florida at Rocky Top.
Florida. I'll pick Tennessee.
My heart says Tennessee, but my head says Florida. Just because.
Is it really?
I don't see how Tennessee
we can't beat Florida.
Here's why we didn't last
Really?
year. They went on a complete downhill spiral last year.
They
were at least a little bit better than they turned out for the rest of the season. I don't see with what we have coming and going for us with our Heupel's fantastic, Hendon returning. I mean, I don't see
Tillman
in what
returning.
world.
Our best defensive player returning.
I don't see in what world we can lose
Arguably.
to Florida this time around. Videotape this, record this, watch me say that famous last words. But I think Tennessee by far.
Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee too. I'm gonna be there. Who are you taking?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Speaking of that, you did the horns down thing.
Yeah.
So Texas had no players drafted. That's pretty crazy.
Hot dog.
I thought that was
That's
pretty
crazy.
I thought that was pretty crazy. All right, Eastern Washington at Florida.
Who? Florida.
Florida.
Missouri at Florida. That's gonna be a tough game.
Florida. Missouri's so bad.
It's at Florida too.
I'm sure. I'm probably calling all these teams terrible, and Auburn's going to lose
I'm
to
gonna say
them.
Florida.
I don't want it to happen. I'm going to say Florida. I want Missouri to beat them.
You think Missouri's gonna win with
Gosh, no.
who's this guy? Brady Cook. He was last on my SEC quarterback list. Don't even know who that is. LSU at Florida.
LSU.
Taking LSU.
Yeah, I'd take LSU.
Okay. Florida at Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia. In a tough game.
I'm taking Georgia. Florida at A&M.
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 A&M. South Carolina at Florida.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm picking South Carolina.
Yeah. I'll take it
Spencer
too,
Rattler.
Spencer
You don't know what
Rattler.
he's going to do.
Florida at Vandy.
The team of losers. Now, this is a tough one. I don't want either one to win. I would love for both of them to
That's
lose.
true. I don't.
But
I'd rather Vandy win. I dislike Florida more than Vandy.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on a roll now. I can't pick Vandy at all anymore. I've set such a foundation.
Yeah, you have.
I'm going to have to pick Florida.
To our new listeners, Jackson strongly dislikes Vandy.
To say the least.
Just go back and listen to all of our episodes. Half the episode is him talking crap about Vandy. All right, Florida and Florida State, final game every year in rivalry weekend.
I'd say Florida.
It's at Florida State.
State.
It's at Florida State.
I don't care where it is.
I'm
Florida
taking
State
Florida
is
State.
garbage.
So is Florida.
I'm going to go ahead and
I
put
mean-
Florida State on this one.
The game was close this past year in Florida.
At that point, I'm just going to pick an SEC team.
All right, so I have Florida winning 1, 2, 3. I have Florida going 4 and 8. That's pretty crazy. I think y'all both had them at 5 and 7.
That's a big time year. That would be a good year for whoever their coach is. Napier?
Dude, he'd get fired.
No, not after a year.
Florida fans are crazy. If they went 3 and 9, I bet he'd get fired.
I mean, that's pretty bad.
About 4
Yeah.
and 8. 4 and 8. That's what I have them at.
4 and 8 too. I would love to see Florida go 4 and 8.
They might still be bowl eligible if any more bowls come out, so you never know.
It's true.
It's ridiculous.
True. All right. You heard it here first. Florida will go 4 and 8 next year.
That'd be a tough year.
You want to get started with basketball, Hanley?
Yeah, we can get started with basketball, but I do want to start out by saying that I recognized about halfway through this episode that I messed up on our preparation for the episode.
Oh gosh.
I
JD Note.
I did it for Arkansas basketball. I spent like an hour on that.
You did not spend an hour.
Whatever, however much time I spent looking up stuff. And
The whole time
didn't realize I was
wondering what you were doing.
Yeah, that's why I pulled up my phone. I had to look up something.
I can tell you that Colin Castleton is coming back. That's
He
what I
is
do
coming
know
back.
by
That's
heart.
big.
So we're talking about Arkansas basketball or Florida?
No, we're not talking about
Florida.
Arkansas basketball.
Okay.
We already did that.
Okay.
The most recent news from Florida is Keontae Johnson, who what is that? You don't like that?
I don't need it anymore.
You don't? Okay, yeah. Keontae Johnson, who probably would have been their best player this past year. He's the guy who
Collapse.
collapsed on the court 2 years ago, I guess, with a heart problem. And he was not eligible. I say eligible. He wasn't cleared medically to play, so they sat him out this past year, and he just got cleared to play. I don't know how, but he just got cleared, and he's entered the transfer portal. So I don't know if they're going to get him back or not, but if they did, it would be huge for them. I kind of get a feeling that they won't, but he'd be a huge pickup for whoever he goes to. But there's a few notable guys that Florida got in the transfer portal. They got Alex Fudge, who was a good player from LSU. Do you remember him?
I don't.
Okay, well, he played for LSU.
I believe it.
So that was a big pickup for Todd Golden. By the way, Mike White, who was Florida's coach, left to go to Georgia, which
Can we talk about that real quick?
it is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. I think because it's clearly a step down, in my opinion. Even though
It's
as much
the worst.
as I
It's the
don't
worst
like
job
Florida,
in the SEC. Well, it's the worst team in the SEC.
it's one of them. But
It's not a good one right now.
he
but
clearly had to have had some insider info that he was going to get.
He was about to get
get booted.
He
Like
was
that's
about
the
to get
only
fired.
reason to go down.
Which
And he made a
Which-
lateral move essentially because it's SEC.
which wouldn't have shocked me if he did get fired,
No.
because he's been pretty rough for the talent that they've had. They really haven't been able to get over the hump. They had a couple of teams that did well, but so they hired Todd Golden, who is from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
He used to work for Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
But that is a big time hire for them, a good steal. And so he got Alex Fudge from LSU, Will Richard from Belmont, Trey Bonham from VMI. And then so those are the three notable transfers that they've brought in so far. They're going to keep going after guys in the portal.
What does VMI stand for again?
Virginia Military Institute.
Virginia Military Institute.
Rob
Thank you,
from
Rob
behind the
Perry.
camera.
That's why we have him.
But then
I thought Appleby entered the portal. Did
he
he
did.
not?
He did.
Did he come back?
He did not come back. He's
Did
in
you
the
already
portal.
say
No.
that? Okay.
Castleton's coming back, which is, I guess, kind of shocking. I don't know what I expected for him, but I just would have thought he would have. He could go anywhere he wanted in the country, by the way.
I don't know why he would come back to a team
Respect, though.
with a new head coach.
Respect for
That is
Sam.
respect for sure.
But Castleton's coming back, and then Kawasi Reeves, who I've never heard of. But, yeah. Trying to look on here. It looks like Myron Jones is still there. Do you remember watching Myron Jones in high school?
Where'd he go?
He went to Huffman.
Really?
Yeah, he's from Birmingham.
Hmm.
So he's still there. It sounds like they've had two of the three best players, if you want to count Keontae Johnson in that,
Right.
have entered the portal. But Castleton coming back is good. I really think they could be decent next year.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't have expectations for them. I don't have high expectations. Because right now it looks like Arkansas, Kentucky, Auburn, Tennessee, Bama. Those are the top
Florida
five.
would be like top of tier 2.
I would put Florida in that like 6 to 9 range.
You put Bama in top 5?
They have like the
At
number 5
5.
recruiting class in the nation.
That does. I mean, they've been able to recruit. I'd
They
still
haven't
say they're.
recruited like
I'd still
this,
say they're
though.
fifth in the SEC though,
I would definitely put them top 5.
but fifth, right?
Um,
You can't put them ahead of Tennessee, Kentucky,
No.
Arkansas, or Auburn. I think Arkansas should come in next year at number 1.
Javon Quinterly is coming back for them. I don't know. I kind of feel like, I guess it's hard to really give out a prediction because the portal is not over yet.
That's true.
And like, whichever of us gets Julian Phillips, if either of us do, like that puts you up a notch.
Would he start for y'all if he came?
Well,
He wouldn't start for us. That's the thing.
You don't think so? Who would start over him?
Olivier Cromwell.
He plays
Dude who got hurt.
the power forward.
Yeah.
This dude's like the number 12 player in the nation. You don't think
Barnes didn't start Springer and you remember Jaden Springer and Keon Johnson from last year, the 2 5-stars?
I thought they did start.
Not until like midway through the season.
Hmm.
The only 5-star that came in and started immediately was Kennedy.
I don't know.
I think Josiah did, but we didn't have anybody else on the team.
I don't know if
that
he
point.
would start for us or not, because I don't see how Johnny Broom doesn't start. Johan Traore would probably play the power forward, so then you would have to keep bumping him, and he's like a 6'8", like pretty athletic wing, so he could play the 3, but in order for that to happen, Flanagan would have to take a bench spot.
Mm.
And I know Flanagan wasn't good this year,
Would he do that?
but I don't
Did you
know.
ask
His
him?
dad's also a coach. I should ask him. Let me text Alan Flanagan right after this episode.
Josiah didn't respond to me, by the way.
It's
Did
unfortunate.
I tell you I met Josiah Jordan James the other day at the Tennessee baseball game?
Saw the picture.
I sent you the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Asked him if he wanted to be on the podcast. He didn't respond.
Ugh.
I'm sure he's watching.
That's a Tennessee
right now,
player for you right there.
though.
They
Hey,
won't respond to your DMs on Instagram. Don't try it. Elijah Kennedy's another guy from Florida who entered the transfer portal that was a guard. I'll be honest, I don't remember hearing his name much at all. So, yeah. So, like I said, I don't have super high expectations for them. I
Yeah.
do think it was a really good hire getting Todd Golden
Mhm.
from San Francisco, and the SEC just kind of keeps reloading its coaches. Like, well, I feel like we have a good core of coaches right now,
Mhm.
and I feel like some of these teams just like keep trying for good coaches. Because originally, Tom Crean was supposed to be a good hire. Who else has been fired? Konzo Martin.
Is he still looking for a job?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Frank Martin was
Dude, at Kansas State, he was legendary.
He was considered a good coach for a long time, but yeah. So that's all I got on Florida. Unfortunately, I made a mistake this time.
We don't like talking about teams that none of us like, by the way.
No.
What's next week, Georgia? I don't like Georgia either.
I think
But
so.
I got something to wear next week.
you can wear that Georgia hat. It's gross.
And the pullover.
Oh, we'll allow that.
Because we're talking about Georgia that week.
Oh,
Right,
that.
right.
Oh. Okay. Well, do y'all have anything else?
I do not. Appreciate you guys joining us for episode 31. And make sure you guys on YouTube like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're just joining us, make sure you go back to Apple and Spotify and watch and listen to all of our previous episodes and watch all of our previous YouTube episodes. And let us know if you guys want us to answer any specific questions on future teams that we're going to be doing, or if you want to be on the show sometime. And other than that, y'all got anything?
I'm good.
Awesome. Well, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Have a good one.